Well, welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today you're in for a treat. Yes, we got a little bit of a food preparation video here. I'm guessing none of you have ever tried this before. I do this all the time, and I make a small little batch, and I'm going to show you how it's done. The first thing you have to do is you have to get yourself a piece of meat, and you can see this here is a nice piece of pork belly. And if you take a look, you can see that it's very lean and not all fatty. This is just regular pork belly. I don't like getting the one that's just all fatty. And all else you need some kosher salt. You can't use regular salt because it's iodized salt and you just can't do that. Third thing you need is, I've been using this for years, it's just a plastic container. You cannot use metal, you can use glass, and you want to make sure that when you put the lid on, you don't put it on tight, you just put it on loosely, because that's how you're going to be able to make salt pork. I'm going to show you how it's done, and then I'm going to explain to you why we do it. Well, here we are right here, and all I've did is just cut up into 4 nice little squares, and I got about 1/2 inch of this kosher salt underneath. And all you do is just keep pouring the salt to it until you completely cover your salt pork. You have to cover it completely, and I really don't think this one container is going to cover it all up, but you can see the idea of what's going on here. And if any of you have ever had salt cod, you've more likely had this. And yeah, I put it in the fridge for about 3 to 4 weeks, and this just may do it. And then after that, I take it out and I vacuum seal it and put it in the freezer. Now look at that. So it looks like this is going to be enough. I'm just going to put the whole thing on, and like I said before, there's not much left in this. You put the lid back on, stick it in the fridge for about 3 or 4 weeks. There we go. But don't put the lid on tight. Well, how easy was that? It doesn't get no easier than that. If you like bacon, real bacon, there she is right there. So, I mentioned to you I was going to let you know why we do this. Well, we're going to go back over 40 years in my generation and another 100 years in my parents' and grandparents' generation. There was no refrigeration, and there was 2 ways of salting meats, fish, that kind of stuff, so that it would last throughout the season, because they didn't have, you know, the proper refrigeration we have today. And salting was 2 ways. Now there's 2 ways to have salt pork. The ones that I see in the store I don't like, because they're in a brine. And what they used to have was great big wooden barrels, something like you'd have for wine or whiskey and that, you know, or for pickles and that kind of stuff. And they would have concentrations of water and salt in there, and pour in like 40 pounds of chunks like this in there. And that's the kind that I see in the store, and I don't really care for it too much. I like making my own. And the first question everybody's going to say, is it salty? Is it salty? Well, I'm going to show you later this year when I go up to my camp. I'm going to cook it for you and show you how we do it. And there is a little bit of a technique to it, but generally this will just stay in the freezer after about a month of being in the fridge. And you know, I'll bring it up next year and I'll show you how to cook it. But I always would have this with a roux. And I'm not too sure who has the recipe for this, but I'm pretty sure my friend Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking does. And I'm going to take a look, and if she does, I'm going to put a link down below and one of them boxes at the end here, so you can check out how to make the roux, because I did talk to Helga before I made this video and asked her, and she makes her roux exactly the same as mine. And if you wonder what a roux is, it's like a gravy made from bacon grease. And it is to die for. If you like biscuits and gravy and that kind of stuff, well, this is what you want. So, yes, it's an old recipe, been handed down for generations. And you guys let me know in the comments, have any of you ever had salt pork before? I don't know. I think it's something that a lot of people don't know about. Maybe you do. I know in Canada there's a lot of people at my age that know all about salt pork, salt fish, you know, that kind of thing. And you know what? I like to keep traditions alive, and this is one of my favorites. So this summer I'm going to show you me cooking it. So I hope you stick around and see that as well. So thanks for joining me here today. Tell me, was that not the easiest thing to do? And you know, I just enjoy sharing these type of things with you. And for you that have never seen this channel before, well, you're welcome to subscribe. And for everybody else, I hope you're having fun. I'm having fun. Come back again. Cheers.